By plugging in a specific USB drive and restarting your computer, you are swapping the standard Windows interface for a specialized security environment. This process allows a standard PC to load Kali Linux directly from external storage. Most live boot systems reset to 0 every time they are unplugged. To make this a functional workspace, we need to enable persistence. This ensures that any tools you install or files you create are saved to a dedicated partition on the drive, rather than disappearing when the power cuts. To set this up, you will need a Windows PC and a USB 3.0 flash drive with at least 32 gigabytes of storage. Using a drive with lower speeds will result in significant system lag when the operating system attempts to read and write data. Note that this setup process requires formatting the drive. Ensure any important files currently on your flash drive are backed up elsewhere, as the following steps will erase all existing data on the device. Once configured, this drive acts as an isolated station for network testing and security research. It allows you to run a full suite of professional tools without making any permanent changes to your computer's internal hard drive. Start by visiting the official Kali repository at kali.org. In the Download section, look for the Live Boot version of the software. It is important to avoid the standard installer version. As this diagram shows, the installer is designed to overwrite your computer's local disk. The Live Boot image only targets your system RAM, keeping your Windows installation intact. You will also need Rufus, a utility that handles the formatting and writes the Kali image to your USB drive. Download the executable file from the official Rufus website. Using these specific software versions ensures the USB drive functions as a self-contained system that does not interfere with your host machine's primary files. Open Rufus and select your flash drive from the device list. Then click Select to locate the Kali Live ISO file you just downloaded. To enable persistence, you must locate the Persistent Partition Size slider within the Rufus interface. Adjust the slider to allocate space for your files. For a typical 64 gigabyte drive, setting this between 40 and 60 gigabytes provides ample room for software updates and project data. Click Start to begin the flashing process. Because the computer is moving several gigabytes of data and creating a new partition, this step usually takes 20 to 30 minutes to complete. Without this specific partition, the drive would reset to its factory state on every reboot, preventing you from saving your progress or maintaining a consistent toolset. While the drive is flashing, there is a critical prerequisite you must handle. Modern Windows systems often use BitLocker encryption, which can be triggered by the hardware changes we are about to make. When we change the boot settings in the next scene, Windows may lock the drive as a security precaution. To get back into your Windows account later, you will need a 48-digit recovery key. To find this, use your phone to log into your Microsoft account and navigate to the Device Management dashboard. Look for the specific recovery key associated with your laptop's name. Photograph or write down this 48-digit number immediately. It is essential to have this key stored on a separate device before proceeding. If you proceed without this key and BitLocker is triggered, you will be unable to access your Windows files or desktop until the code is entered. Once the drive is ready, restart your computer. You will need to press your system's specific BIOS key, typically F2, F10, or Delete, to enter the firmware settings menu. Now, look for the Secure Boot setting. This is a default security feature that prevents the computer from loading any operating system that isn't digitally signed by the manufacturer. To run Kali Linux, you must change the Secure Boot status to Disabled. Next, find the boot priority or boot order list. You must move the USB drive to the top of the list so the computer attempts to load the flash drive before it tries to start Windows. Save your settings and exit the BIOS. The computer will now restart using the new priority sequence. These adjustments allow the hardware to Rita. Use the arrow keys to select Live System with USB Persistence and press Enter. Once the desktop appears, we can verify the setup. Create a text document on the desktop. Type a single word like test and save it. Now restart the system from the Kali menu. When the boot screen reappears, select the Persistence option once again. If the text file is still on your desktop, the Persistence partition is active. The drive is now functioning as a portable workstation that will retain your files across different sessions and different computers. To return to your normal setup, power down the computer completely using the Kali shutdown menu. Once the lights on the laptop are off, remove the USB drive from the port. Press the power button again. Without the USB drive present, the computer will automatically move to the next item in the boot list and start Windows. If Windows asks for a recovery key due to the BIOS changes, enter the 48-digit code you saved earlier to restore access to your desktop. Your host computer remains unchanged. You now have a mobile tool site for security analysis that runs entirely independently of your primary operating system.